Let me tell you, you never really know your neighbors until one of them tries to get you arrested over a parking spot. That's not an exaggeration. Hell, if you had told me a month ago that a Sunday grocery run would end up with blue lights and drama, I'd have laughed in your face. But here's how it all went down. Suburban America, golden sunlight spilling over the sidewalks, smell of cut grass, kids flying down the cul-de-sac on scooters, and me, just lugging bags of water bottles from my trunk, totally oblivious that I was about to land square in the crosshairs of Karen, the queen of chaos herself. Now, the thing about Karen, you could hear her before you ever saw her. There I was, halfway to my front door, arms loaded up, when her voice cut through the air, a shriek sharp enough to peel paint. Excuse me, you can't park there. That sound. You don't forget it. I turned around, and there she was in full regalia, blonde curls wound up like springs, sunglasses bigger than my future, and a Pomeranian shaking in her arms like it was ready to sue me too. I just blinked. Sorry, is this assigned parking? I didn't see a number or anything. Her lips puckered like she just chewed a lemon. It's my spot. Been parking there for 5 years. Everyone knows that. Thing is, there was no sign, no tag, just plain old asphalt. Public parking, far as I could see. Well, if management wants me to move, fine, but otherwise, she cut me off, stomping right up with the full weight of 5 years pin-up entitlement. No, you people just show up and take over like you own the place. Move your car now, or I'm calling the police. And that's when I felt it, my stomach dropping. Not even so much at the you people, but the realization that there was no winning. Here, I tried to keep my cool. Look, I'm not trying to start anything. I'll only be here a few minutes. Too late. She had her phone out, dialing 911, describing me like I was breaking into Fort Knox. Yes, officer, he's threatening me. He refuses to leave my spot. And there it was, neighbors peeking out their blinds, a guy across the lot muttering, "Oh boy, she's at it again." You could feel the circus tent going up. 10 minutes later, sirens in the distance. I could have laughed if I wasn't actually annoyed. Karen smirked like she'd already won the lottery. You're about to learn a very expensive lesson. Patrol car rolls in, blue and red lights bouncing off my windshield. 2 officers step out, cool as you please. But then, the taller one looks at the spot. His brow goes up just a notch. Karen's on him instantly. That's him. Arrest him for taking my parking spot. The cop sighs, rubs his temple, and delivers the line of the year. Ma'am, that's my assigned parking spot. I swear the world froze. Karen's face drained of color, jaw dropping open, the universe suddenly tilting out from under her. The officer slowly turned, looked at me, then back at her, and said, "Ma'am, we need to have a word." You could practically see the air going out of her sails. The second officer just stood back, arms crossed, clearly no stranger to Karen-level drama. Karen's voice quivered. "Your spot? That can't be. I've always parked here." The cop pulled out his notepad, pointed to a sign clear as daylight. Reserved parking. Officer R. Lopez. She must have missed it, every single day, for 5 years. Officer Lopez looked at me and smiled. "Sir, you're fine. You can park here anytime after 5. I'm off duty now." He turned back to Karen. His voice was calm but ironclad. "Ma'am, you called 911 for a parking dispute on a public lot and gave a false statement that you were threatened." Karen blinked, voice thin as tissue paper. I didn't lie. He was being aggressive. Look at him." The other cop deadpanned. "Ma'am, he's literally just standing there holding a grocery bag." I couldn't help myself. Pretty dangerous with all this bottled water, you know. The younger cop cracked a grin. Karen shot him a glare sharp enough to cut glass. Officer Lopez pressed on. "You realize this could be considered misuse of emergency services." That got her. She backed up, clutching her purse. "I just thought he was a stranger," he shrugged. "Everyone's a stranger till you meet them." Karen tried to come up with some retort, but tripped over her own words. Almost went for a "because you're both," but caught herself just in time. Even her Pomeranian went dead quiet. Lopez leaned in, his voice like a gavel. "You're lucky I'm in a good mood. But this stops now. No more fake calls. No more harassment. Understand?" She nodded, eyes flicking around, probably hoping a hole would open up and swallow her. "Good," he said, jotting something down. You'll be hearing from the property manager and possibly the department if this happens again. Karen's face twisted in horror. Wait, you're reporting me? Lopez didn't flinch. Actions have consequences, ma'am. Then to me, sorry for the scene, sir. You're good to go. As they walked off, Karen stood frozen, cheeks burning. As the patrol car pulled away, she muttered, this isn't over. And you know, something in me believed her. I figured that would be it. Just another wild story to tell my buddies. But Karen? She was the kind of person who wakes up at dawn to plan her next move. 2 days later, I stepped out for work and my car was plastered with sticky notes, bright pink, neon yellow, all screaming things like thief, parking, stealer, and my favorite, move or else. For a second, I just stood there, speechless. Then I caught sight of her, across the street, sipping coffee, grinning like a Bond villain. Morning, she called, voice syrupy. Maybe next time you'll think twice before stealing what's mine. I couldn't help it. I barked a laugh, but anger was winning out. You're seriously doing this? I called. She just shrugged. Actions have consequences. Straight from Lopez's mouth, but with 10 times the venom. I peeled off a few notes, tossed them, shaking my head. You really don't know when to quit, do you? Karen's smirk only got wider. Quit. Oh honey, this is just the beginning. By lunchtime, she'd turned it up to 11, called the property manager accusing me of harassing her dog, took pictures of my car and posted them all over the neighborhood Facebook group. Be careful. This man parks wherever he wants, refuses to follow community rules. My inbox exploded with messages from total strangers telling me to respect my neighbors. But here's what Karen didn't realize. Officer Lopez lived in the same building, and his wife was on that Facebook group. That evening, knock on my door. It's Lopez, looking equal parts amused and exasperated. You seen this? He asks, holding up his phone. She's losing her mind, I say. He just shakes his head. She's breaking at least 3 HOA rules, posting false accusations, defacing property. Wait, defacing property? Lopez pulls up a photo. Karen had written spot stealer in sidewalk chalk right in front of my car. He tucks his phone away. We'll handle it. Just stay cool. People like her, they implode on their own. I tried to believe him, but that night, around midnight, I heard something. A faint metallic scratch outside my window, something sharp against metal. My stomach dropped. I peeked through the blinds. There she was. Karen, crouched beside my car, flashlight between her teeth, scratching at my door with a key. I stepped out quietly, phone recording. Enjoying yourself? I called deadpan. She jumped, dropped the flashlight. You scared me. Looks like you scared my paint job, too. She scrambled up, clutching her keys. I was just checking for damage. You hit my car last week. I just stared. You don't even park next to me, Karen. Her story unraveled as fast as she could. Spin it. Before I could say more, footsteps echoed. Officer Lopez again. I texted him, sent the video feed from my door cam. Ma'am, step away from the vehicle. Karen turned ghost pale. Not you again. Lopez pointed at her keys. Drop them. Now. She flung them at the curb. This is harassment. You two are ganging up on me. Lopez didn't blink. No, ma'am. This is vandalism. On camera. Her face twisted, desperate. You can't prove anything. Lopez looked at me. You get her on video? I nodded, holding up my phone. HD, 60 frames. The silence was deafening. Even her dog let out a single confused yip before scampering away. Lopez sighed, radioed in for backup. Unit for property damage report, possible arrest. That word, arrest, just shattered her. You're not serious, she shrieked. Over a car? Lopez leveled his gaze. It's not about the car. It's about your pattern. False reports, harassment, now property damage. She froze, realizing who she was really up against. Another patrol car rolled in, lights slicing across her stunned face. Officers spoke quietly to her, gently led her toward the cruiser. Lopez turned to me. I'll file this with the HOA and the department. You shouldn't have to deal with this. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Thanks, officer. Guess karma works faster than I thought. He gave a faint grin. Sometimes, karma wears a badge. As Karen was led away, she threw one last desperate line over her shoulder. You'll regret this. I own this neighborhood. Lopez just shook his head. Not anymore. Ma'am. Not anymore. I looked at my car, scratched but still standing, and had to smile. For once, the chaos was over. Or, that's what I thought. The next morning, everything was quiet, no barking dog, no shrieking voice echoing across the lot. I sipped my coffee in actual peace for the first time in weeks. But you know how it is. HOA drama never really dies. It just hides until the next meeting. By noon, there was a notice taped to every door, emergency HOA meeting. Mandatory. I already knew who was on the docket. That evening, the community hall was buzzing. Gossip everywhere did. You hear? Chiquita's car. The cop was her neighbor. I spotted Lopez in the back, arms folded, talking to the HOA president, a woman who looked like she'd aged a decade in a week. Meeting started. Within minutes, it was all about Karen, her false reports, screaming matches, even a time she'd accused the mailman of spying. Lopez stood up. I'm not here in uniform, he said, but as a resident. And there's video evidence of harassment and vandalism. All eyes turned to me. I nodded, showed the footage. You could hear the gasps. Karen, caught on camera, flashlight in her mouth. Key in hand, like a raccoon on a crime spree. The HOA president cleared her throat. Given the repeated violations and police involvement, the board votes unanimously to terminate Miss Reynolds' lease. Effective immediately. That was that. The queen of chaos, dethroned. 2 days later, I watched as a moving truck pulled up. Karen stomped around, red-faced, yelling at the movers. Her poor dog barking like it was ready to pack its own bags. At one point, she spotted me watching and glared so hard I swear the window frosted over. I gave a little wave. She slammed her car door so hard the alarm went off. When the truck finally rolled away, the whole neighborhood seemed to let out a breath. People came out, smiling, chatting for the first time in ages. Someone even brought cupcakes. That evening, Lopez wandered over, hands in his pockets. So, how's your parking spot? Peaceful, I said. Almost too peaceful. Kinda missed the excitement. He laughed. Careful what you wish for. We stood there, watching the sunset, the quiet settling in. As I turned to head inside, I noticed a folded note stuck in my car door handle. My pulse jumped. It read, messy handwriting you. Think you won, but this isn't over. No signature, but I didn't need one. I just smirked, crumpled it up, tossed it out. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Karen. Because for the first time in weeks, I actually could. So let me ask you, what do you think? Was justice served, or did it just push the problem down the road? Ever tangled with a neighbor like that? Drop your wildest HOA or Karen's story in the comments. I gotta hear them. And hey, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you're seriously missing out on the best suburban drama this side of the internet. Smash that button, drop a comment, and buckle up, because in this neighborhood, peace and quiet is always one parking spot away from disaster.